The Curious Garden. There was once a city without garden or trees or greenery of any kind. Most people spent their time indoors. As you can imagine, it was a very dreary place. However, there was a boy who loved being outside even on drizzly days. While everyone else stayed inside, you could always find Liam happily splashing through his neighborhood. It was one such morning that Liam made several surprising discoveries. He was wandering around the old railway as he did from time to time when he stumbled upon a dark stairway leading up to the tracks. The railway had stopped working ages ago, and since Liam had always wanted to explore the tracks, there was only one thing for the curious boy to do. Liam ran up the stairs, pushed open the door, and stepped out onto the railway. The first thing he saw was a lonely patch of color. Wildflowers and plants were the last things he expected to find up there. But when he took a closer look, it became clear that the plants were dying. They needed gardener. Liam may not have been a gardener, but he knew that he could help. So he returned to the railway the very next day and he got to work. The flowers nearly drowned and he had a few pruning problems, but the plants patiently waiting while Liam found better ways of gardening. As the weeks rolled by, Liam began to feel like a real gardener and the plants began to feel like a real garden. Most gardens stay in one place, but this was no ordinary garden. Even miles of open railway ahead of it, the garden was growing restless. It wanted to explore. The tough little weeds and mosses were the first to move. They popped up farther and farther down the tracks and were closely followed by the more delicate plants. Over the next few months, Liam and the Curious Garden explored every corner of the railway. After spending his spring and summer and autumn with the garden, Liam's time on the railway was finally interrupted by winter. Heavy blankets of snow fell in the city that season, and for the time he had become a gardener, Liam could not visit the plant season. Rather than waste his winter worrying about garden, Liam spent it preparing for spring. After the 3 cold months and the snow finally began to melt, and Liam rolled his new gardening gear over to the railway. Winter had taken a toll in the garden, but thanks to Liam planning his handy new tools and little help from the sun, the plants soon awake from their winter sleep. The garden had always wanted to explore the rest of the city, and the spring it was finally ready to make it move. Once again, the tough little weeds and the mosses set our first. They popped up farther and farther from the railway and closely followed by the more delicate plants. The garden was especially curious about old forgotten things. A few plants popped up where they didn't belong, and other mysteriously popped up all at once. But the most surprising things that popped up were the new gardeners. Many years later, the entire city had blossomed. All the new gardens. Liam's favorite was where it all began. Thank you.